Well, I'm back again for part 3 of the video series. Today I'm going to try to get the, let me see if I can, well, I can't turn this camera around, but I'm going to try to get him off today, and we're going to get the throttle body moved, so we'll see how well that goes. Maybe if we can, maybe get the valve covers off. We'll see. So step 1 for today, I'm going to try to get the throttle body off. It's stuck on this hose right here. That looks like some kind of a coolant hose of some kind. And also I need to get it off of this, and I want to lay this whole piece over on this side of the engine bay, just to have it out of the way. I don't want to really remove it. I don't want to take this whole throttle assembly off of this, because that's just too much for me to do. Okay, the throttle body just came off, and I have it laid over there with the throttle cable. We're down here to our fuel injectors now, and look at that. I have a big pool of coolant. It might be from that freshly snipped coolant hose that I just cut. I don't like cutting hoses. I like to try to reuse them, but I really don't think in this case that I can. And it looks like it goes down there to that main coolant manifold down there. So I'm gonna have to change that out and fix that out. The next thing I'm gonna have to do in this video is I'm gonna have to take this EGR system out. I'm gonna have to take those bolts, and I don't know how I'm gonna, excuse me, I don't know how I'm gonna get this pipe out of the way. This one right here, this little coppery looking, brass looking pipe. And let's see what I can do. Just to point out, on the other side of this, I'm gonna have to move it over there. There is a bolt there as well. So when you're removing this, you have to be mindful of all the bolts, and you got to label them, of course, like I do. I would hate for me to have to try to remove those 2 bolts on both sides of this EGR system, then bend this copper, because copper is very bendable, and I've messed it up for good. Okay, I've just pulled this piece of the EGR out of here. You actually just push these apart, and it will remove this thing. So I need to label him and keep him removed. I've taken the 2 back bolts off of this, so it's actually, well, I haven't taken this one off yet, but this is starting to move a bit. So I'll show you when that's done. All right, well, this hose right here is kind of getting in my way to getting that last bolt down there. You can see it right there. Having a hard time getting that out, and it's because this hose is in the way of my my wrench, so I'm going to pull that out. So I've removed this, and it can bend. Let's get that throttle cable out of the way. So it's off of the air chamber, but it's really hard to access it, or to get out of the way, because it's connected down there. And I'm kind of half thinking maybe I should take it out of there, which would kind of suck, but I mean, it's got to be out of the way. I could just bear with it. I still haven't been able to get this hose out of the way either. I don't know, if something tells me I should probably take it out. Those screws down there, they're awfully rusty. So I don't know, we'll see what we can do. I'd love to just do an EGR delete, because this is all about the whole, what do you call it, the evap canister and all this kind of stuff, and emissions, and this is an old car. It doesn't have to comply with that anymore, so we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and next to the EGR system, there's this little ground cable. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew that, and just get that out of the way of this pipe. I'm gonna use a socket extension to reach down to those bolts, so I can take this whole pipe out, get it out of our way. So I'm having a little bit of trouble getting those bolts off. I think I'm gonna have to spray it with PB Blaster and let that sit. In the meantime, there's several big bolts like here, right there. This big guy too. I think I'll leave them in, but we'll see what we can do. It's one on the back end. There's 2 of them right there. There's brackets for the redirect, the coolant redirect. A couple more big bolts like that I'd like to take out, and let's go ahead and try to get this air chamber out. All right, so I'm up here just finding every screw I can. hold on a second, sorry. There we go. See how big this one is, or if I can just leave that one in. So I just pulled a big screw out of there on the back end, and now I'm going to try to get these bolts off, and this bolt right there. I'm going to try to get those both off, and I think this will come out, but we'll see. On the back end of the common air chamber, and I've got this wrench back here, and I'm going to try to knock this bolt out. It's being a little bit of a bear, so give me a second. I wasn't able to get those bolts out. I actually kind of really messed up my finger there. Reminding everyone to be safe when you're doing these things. So I'm just trying to remove any other bolts that I see that I've already taken him out. That might be restricting this to be able to come out of here. I don't see anything down there per se. My camera will get in focus. That's Androids for you. But yeah, that hurt pretty badly. So let's see how I can get these guys out of here. I actually scraped it on this back end piece right there. It's pretty sharp, believe it or not. It's a ground cable actually there on the side of the plenum I actually forgot about. So I need to grab him and get him out of there too. See if we can push it down. Oops, nope, hold on one second. Okay, I was able to get that out. Okay. Alright, found another screw down there that's keeping it in, and also behind this pipe there's a screw right there. If you can see it behind that clip, that guy right there, he's got to go too. And then those, of course, the back guy's got to go, and I think we'll finally get it out of here. But man, this has been kind of difficult, and it's really hurt my finger, and I'm kind of throbbing here a little bit. So I took the clip off of that. It's hanging down there, and I'm going to just keep using my channel lock to try to pry it apart. As you can see, some exposed metal there. I've been kind of successful at it, so I'm going to keep at it. And look at that, I finally pulled it out. That is really dirty. I'm going to have to clean that up anyway after I get done. So I'm going to go ahead and take that bolt out. I'm going to take this other big bolt down there. I don't think you can see him right now. Ooh, everything's in the way, but he's down in there too. Those guys, and then we're almost got the air chamber. Okay, well I determined that that bolt down there actually doesn't have to come out. It's not part of the common chamber. You can see the gasket separation there. That's part of something else. So I'm good to go on the other bolts here. I'm a little tad fed up with these screws back here, so I'm gonna have to start spraying them with PB Blaster. Oh yeah. Ooh, I think I actually have something wrong with my brain. I was trying to use my wrench to go this way. No, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and I was facing the clock backwards. It goes that way. So you have to, and it works. Yeah. I want to also show the method how I get this off. I put my finger on this back end, and I just push this over, and I pick it up, refit it back on there, and I keep doing that. Now there's probably ratcheting wrenches that could do this much more quickly. Buy them. Alright, now I'm going to try to pick this whole thing up and see if it doesn't, see it moves. Right there, see it? Alright, let me try to pick it up and I'll show y'all when it's done. There she is, pulled her out. Now we're getting to the meat of the engine. Now we're really gotten into the meat of the engine. You can see the valve covers there. Of course we've got an obvious leak. That coolant pipe there, it's just leaking everywhere. This back there, it's right here in the back of the engine. This guy, this hose often leaks, and that's going out into the coolant manifold. That has a real bad problem leaking all the time. Look how much crud's down inside this thing. I'm gonna have to pull this out, and I've actually found a dirt dauber nest in there, so I'm gonna have to pull this thing out and clean it up too. But there's your valve covers. There's the coolant pipe redirect, because I don't have a heater core. Who knows, maybe I should do the heater core while I'm in here. I think it's inside the trooper, but this is pretty cool looking at all this. There's your fuel rails. Maybe I should pull that out and clean that up a bit too.